Good morning and Good morning and welcome to Macklemore Sports. I'm Brock Mills alongside Justin Arney and Charlie Thomas, and we have a big show for y'all today. We'll be kicking things off with who should win the Heisman for this season. Charlie, who you got?
I got Ashton Jenney. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that guy at Boise State on the Broncos, he's killing it. He has 1,893 rush yards, over 500 more than last year, and he still has about 3 or 4 games, maybe even 5 left to play if they make the playoffs.
I mean, that's cool, but can Ashton Jenney play defense? Because
Well,
Travis Hunter can. He plays both sides of the ball. He's arguably the best receiver and best cornerback in the nation, individually at each position. And I just don't think you can compete with that. I know that, Genty's about to he could break the Barry Sanders record, but I just think Travis Hunter's, but being able to play both sides of the ball, I don't think you can argue that.
Well, for me, Boise State, they have a lot of points on their offense, and 162 of those are just from Ashton Jenney. He is the sole reason this team is dominating. And when your only loss is at Oregon by 3 points, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a team. Whereas Colorado, they haven't really had a. You talk about the Mountain West not being tough for scheduling. Colorado does not really have a tough schedule. They've played Cincinnati. Tech's not all that great. Their losses are K-State, who lost to Houston, and then they've also lost to Nebraska, and they are 5-5. So, I mean, how do you defend that?
I mean, it's simply just the Big 12 has a better resume than the Mountain West. I mean, you talk about Houston and Kansas State. If you put those teams in the Mountain West, they're the best team in the Mountain West.
I tend to disagree. I mean, the Mountain West is not a bad conference if you look at it. I mean, obviously you have Boise State on top, but UNLV is a solid team. They're 8-2, and they're 24th in the nation. That's a ranked team, and Boise State is definitely 12. I mean, they control their path to the playoff, and I think that's mostly because of Ashton Jenney.
And I think it's the same thing for Colorado, though. I think, Travis Hunter, if he can continue what he's doing, I think I can very well see Colorado in the playoffs. If not, or I can see them in the Big 12 championship, and if not, in the playoffs.
Well, on the subject of the playoffs, we will be talking about who should make the new 12-team format. Justin, who do you have representing the Big Ten?
Out of the Big Ten, I have Oregon. They beat Ohio State early in the year off of some dramatic stuff late, but I still think, if it comes down to it, I still think that they can take it.
And for me, I got a bit of a switch up from what I was thinking earlier. I honestly think Indiana might get it. They're 10-0. They've dominated all their teams. They have 439 points and that's the most in the conference. And they've just simply dominated every team they've played. And they got a big one this weekend against Ohio State, but I think if they get that, I mean, they'll definitely play Oregon in the championship, and that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, go ahead.
SEC?
For me, with the SEC, I got Texas. I mean, I watched them play at Arkansas last week, and they looked slow at first, but it was a close game, 20-10, but the score does not tell all the details. Arkansas couldn't get any offense because Texas defense, very strong up front, great defensive line, and I think that'll carry them. And they got a big game at Texas A&M in about a week, so we'll see.
I agree with you on Texas. I think a lot of the other SEC teams are kind of falling off, but Texas has been that steady at the top, and I think they're going to be able to take home the SEC.
What about the Big 12?
I got Colorado. Again, I think Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Coach Prime, I just think, when it comes down to it, I just don't think they're going to lose.
I know this guy's a Colorado, some would say a meat rider there. I got Arizona State, and I think Cam Scatterbo might be better than Travis Hunter.
That is crazy, bro. No, that is crazy.
Simply because he can take over a game in a way that is just, I mean, he'll run through you. And I think Arizona State, they got BYU this week. I think they'll go and beat BYU and clinch a spot in the Big 12 championship. And again, then we'll see in December.
So do you think Cam Scatterbo is better than Ashton Jenney?
No.
That is a crazy take, bro, that you think that Cam Scatterbo is better than Travis Hunter.
I just think Cam Scatterbo has somewhat of a perfect timing with what he does on the field.
All right.
Well, what about the ACC?
I got Clemson. Their only loss is to Georgia, and I'm pretty sure that was the first game of the year. And then other than that, they looked pretty much dominant. So I got Clemson.
I don't mean to stomp on your boat, but Clemson did lose to Louisville by 12, so they're 8-2. where I got SMU, and their actual only loss is to BYU by like 5 points, maybe 9 points.
Didn't BYU just lose to Kansas though?
Yeah, I mean Kansas is on a run, and that's a different team back then. But SMU is 9-1, and in their first season in a Power 5 conference, they're 6-0, and they have a pretty cupcake schedule the last 2 games. I think they'll easily make the championship. It'll just be whether they can beat a real powerhouse like Clemson. I think they can. I think they got a lot of fight in them.
I think with Cade Klubnik and Dabo Sweeney, I just think there's too much experience there for them to not, I think SMU, like you said, it's their first time in Power 5 conference. I think they're going to fold under pressure, while the experience of Clemson is not.
Well, let's switch over to the other football
Let's just
championship.
do the Super Bowl.
Who do y'all have representing the Super? And who do y'all have in the Super Bowl?
Well, I'll be honest. My teams may not be looking great right now, but I still support them, and I think we're going to see a rematch of last year's Super Bowl with the 49ers and Chiefs. I think just something the Chiefs find a way to make it there every year. And as for the 49ers, they're 5-5 right now, but I just think they'll catch fire with CMC getting healthier and healthier every week. What do you think, Justin?
I can see the Chiefs, but I think the 49ers is a little out there. I think there's so many better teams in the NFC, and 2 teams that I can see over the 49ers in the NFC is the Lions and the Eagles, but I have the Lions making the Super Bowl, and I have them playing the Bills. I think no matter how it plays out, I do think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I just think the 49ers, they got a lot of talent, and I do think losing their receiver, Brandon Ayuk, will kind of hurt them, but it's just something about those 2 teams. They seem to make a lot of Super Bowls, and I think they're going to do it again.
Well, thank you for watching this debate on Macklemore Sports. I'm Brock Mills with Justin Arney and Charlie Thomas. Thank you all.